paper to your ear. Can you hear your ancestors scream? Don't realize slave masters printed on your cream. Got you thinking value is measured by whips and cream around your neck. Got you sleep on methazine or Fiat cream. Can't even buy a bag of chips at the store without a piece of paper giving permission, but you ignore. Think you're free but nailed to the floor like hardwood. Washing his teeth until he took your grandmother's, but your hood. Shoot your own brother down before you aim at the police. Counting cash, acting like a boss with amnesia. Knocked over the head, you alive but you dead. Shallow grave is what they keep you in. And Jay-Z pledged to keep you there. Thought I'd share, can't say you wasn't warned. Take your mitten, your scent, you jumping bushes of thorns. Your brother's dead, shot in the head. The next day you're back to the bread. The green mold got you off of your beds. If they took it all away, exactly what would define you? If that's all you want, wait till your ancestors find you. Recline you, say never mind you. All these boulders grind you into dust to remind you.
When the ancestors scream, face shape in the side of a mountain. When the ancestors scream, new earth, lava out the ground like a fountain. When the ancestors scream, true birth, from the soul plane, the child return. When the ancestors scream, instead of hate we gotta love, so now we learn. Face shapes in the cloud you can clearly see. Hidden, forbidden archaeology. Pillar dancing in the midst of the fire sea. Silhouette, ancient mystery. It's in the blueprint. A law, the best planner. What's a national flag? That's a commerce banner. Mind your man, a spammer. Trolls and package scammer. Go against the ancestor. Yo, it's a disaster. Then haste makes ways. Current ways of a nation. Put the black back in. A more conversation. The mace is a phase. Here to learn on this plane. When we reckon a lesson and then we graduate. When the ancestors scream. Face shape in the side of a mountain. When the ancestors scream, new earth, lava out the ground like a fountain. When the ancestors scream, true birth, from the soul plane, the child return. When the ancestors scream, instead of hate we gotta love, so now we learn.
I heard the message and saw the marvelous light. Brighten up under beds and closets at night. Ancestral forces always sending messages, signs, or speak through me. Find the message in lines. Get aware when unaware. You manifest fear. Watching heads and eyes peek out the celestial tail. Giving me signs from unexpected mediums. Voice of inhaled helium, not of gross bohemian. Dialectic Hegelian, some seem alien. Don't be fooled by the shape-shifting Romanian. Vampire steaks burned in garlic fires, or get wrapped up like orthodontic wires.
When the ancestors scream, face shape in the side of a mountain. When the ancestors scream, new earth, lava out the ground like a fountain. When the ancestors scream, true birth, from the soul plane, the child return. When the ancestors scream, instead of hate we gotta love, so now we learn.
This is all 9 lives, synchronized in perfect step, time after time, averting certain death before you leave. Must relieve karmic debt, which beget this war within us. Our C-Tech best, dust off records, our forebearers left. Put the needle to the groove, return to their mindset. Download begins, rewind cassette. Time is death, so then kill your clocks. This the will of Allah, filling you all to the rim and then some till it spills and it falls over all facets of the masses. Transactions composed in maxims, revising your cannons. Drove past heaven, it was littered with abandoned mansions. Were adverse possessed like 5 or 6. Gave them back the addresses. I got family moving in. Forget the madness, let the reversion begin.
True Ali the mastermind, other leaders asinine. Never dropping facts, use emotions to pass the time. Never make it on my shrine, Kundalini up the spine. Halo glow to after shine, make you see the sign of times. Beeline to bloodline, Aquarian age flood mines. Rhyme like a plumb line. line. Sometimes it's butt time. Rock mid-range deadly. All around the foul line. Play back on front line. Moorish is my guideline. Step and cause a fault line. Throw your service offline. Watch them get outshine. Cross me like a state line. Get cut like a brake line. F you and your concubine. Strangle with a fishing line. When I help is genuine. Always from the heart. All chakras are intertwined. Self you must redefine. More from the civil line. Not the clandestine. Stake a vamp at chest line. Sun stay stationary. Shadow left behind. Say you don't want to. Not that you have no sign. See good in everything and how you must train the mind. Give out some love and find peace sublime. Water and the key lime keeps the body alkaline. Law should remain divine, not too much maritime. Get all 13 journals of the Moorish paradigm. Israelites from Saraline. My path is the narrow line. Thought you had the upper hand. I saw it like a tarot line.
I'm painting with the big P in game 6. Unity about as crucial as game 6 of the finals. I'm glowing like I won the title, but Ellen Beta noble titles. Don't worship humans, that's a false idol. Heavenly vibes coming from my recital. Middle fingers to connivers and instigators. The truth to revive it like the liberators. So this a pump to the chest. Utilize what's useful and throw away the rest. My vegan ways have put the beef to rest. My calling got directed like receptionist. So think mother every time you see a crest. The Moors is here to put that bullshit to rest. So think mother every time you see a crest. The Moors is here to bring that bullshit to rest.
When I step in the center, they can tell I'm a winner, live my life right. Thank God, I'm not a sinner, live my life like I'm passing through time. Disastrous crimes, you killing up my people, my mask and your back is wide. You feeling the energy rise, because we open the eyes. We see the open skies and all them cop picking lies. That's how I battle enemies, I be using my energy. I move like the centipede, in the mirror see tending me. Pay attention to tendencies, trying to mess up the chemistry. We can be one big family. I do it for the nation. How many gon' stand with me? I got the prophet up front and you're mad at me. Can't love a man that look like you, but it's sad to see. I'm just acting like the children watching, and it has to be. Nationality got me feeling like a dad to beat. Grass sheep provide the beat, and I just had to bring the heat. Khalif for society. Canaanland Moors, Moorish connection. Rise of the Moors, 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 Moors.
In the spirit of a prophet in Islam, we study the ancient manuscripts, Moorish Koran. Everything we do is halal, some haram. No, it sounds like the hook, but this is the song. When I see a brother, I greet him with salam. Want the whole truth about Hitler and Saddam. Devastated what you did in Vietnam. Out of this savannah, so they had to use bombs. It's been a few years, I read my Proverbs and Psalms. When I see my sisters, I tell them sit calm. It's your destiny, you hold it in your palm. Mr. Popularity never cared about the prom. One of life's great mysteries, young phenom. I am that I am, that's word to my mom. Moved out the rough edges, eliminate the arms. Know what you're pledging, no Uncle Tom. Coming for our territory, take it back, Quan. With that old time good spell, I wave my magic wand. Now I'm impressed, the vibration sound is on.
Don't give it away,
It's
Mars
on.
don't give it away, Yo, Mars don't give it away. Every time that I accelerate, they copy. I'm the master. Take my mother's and the father's great gift instead. Great masterpiece for masters trying to masterpiece. This time I'm like a masterpiece. This love don't give me the bread. Yo, Moors don't give it away. They play your life but try to take you. Can you count how many times I'll try and break you? Try to guide a great clue. Struggle size HU. Mind of my own with a great truth. I sip a little great goose while swerving on the state truth. While plotting my escape of they rules, they schools, they jewels. They couldn't help my shine like chemicals. I'm at the top of my class on the pedestal. I throw that letter at you, that's HB number 2. And keep my name out your mouth unless it's about to spread my youth. What to come up with the money that you run up in this crow game. Turn up in my young guards, aim and shoot with your lame excuse. No, I never that. This a full force sound system, level that. Yo, you only talking fiat where your levels at. This is God body, show me where the devil at. I'll let you read what this life about. We the lawmakers, architects, and still they doubt. We keep it factual with math and science practical. They love to hate the natural. Pain with the gain, no clout. A little fame couldn't stray, I remain on route. I move mountains, earthquakes on speakers. Something off the counting these occurrences, they speechless. For the world, I'm the teacher. I'm sure like the beaches, keeping everything du jour. I'm the one with the features that they envy. We the reason that they seek us to take us out every season. So, Moors don't give it away. Moors don't give it away. Every time that I accelerate, they copy. I'm the master. Take our mothers and the fathers' great. Give me the state. Create the masterpiece. The masses trying to masterpiece. This time I'm like the masterpiece. This law gon' get me the bread. Moors don't give it away. Moors don't give it away. Why am I in this?
Good. Good. Goddess outstanding, keeps order, she de jour. I thought Orisha Omega deity, she a more amongst the elite, but relate to the core. She command the fleet first to step on the shore. Snooze never sleep, won't hear me snore.
Hey yo, play me once, you'll never snake me twice. Break this smoke and never save my life. Never rolling with that piece, so respect my life. Respect my life, yo. Moors don't give it away. Moors don't give it away. Every time that I accelerate, they copy. I'm the master. Take our mothers and the fathers' great. Give me the state. Create the masterpiece. The masses trying to masterpiece. This time I'm like the masterpiece. This law gon' get me the bread. Moors don't give it away. Moors don't give it away. Respect my life. 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 Never. Hello. ¿Cómo está? Hey. You know the PM studio, man. 7998 Premier Road. Throw it. Hello. Buenas noches. Why did I go to the end of the song for real?
This is what it feels like. 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 People running up to me that I don't know. Are you a prince? They ask, tell them I'm from Morocco. Look me up and down with a smile, not a frown. Turn their brain to water, watch the lower self drown. Wanna touch my antennas and steal my energy. Eyes bulge, telling them I'm always King Edward V. When it comes to facts, with Moors they get beggarly. They ask Morocco where? The farthest northwesterly. With every question asked, I respond cleverly. All dependents won't explain expertly. Going in their wallets, pull out pictures with feathers, breaking down the ring, then the mason confesses. He's at 33 degrees, now the convo stretches like yoga into esoteric metaphysic lessons. When my people aren't like me, he impresses. When we take Moorish science to the highways and hedges. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
They tried to get you to think again. That's the profit. I'm upright, don't need a friend. And you can't stop this. I'ma write with my pen. Violate me and I'ma sentence again. Remain cautious, cause often it's in again. That's in the police out, just the silence men. When they bust through your door, you won't breathe again. Nationality will show you how to live again. It can change the predicament you're living in. You can heal the whole world without medicine. Only truth can make you a better man. Why lie? Cause you got paid to murder men. Then you try to lock them up when they riot in. That's okay, cause for freedom I'm diving in. With no knowledge, you come back to die again. Resurrect me not, cause I'd rather be one with Allah.
This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
The title is Glad you is a mind time away. Death cousin has a slim soul. Prophet said to take it from the cares who I lay. Now solid as a rock, that ain't Hudson Bay. Them are Moorish docks, everything else. 9 drops from ya, well I'm from yourself. The who's blank, I'm not. She's out the water, the bank sprung up. With unsalvation now, you can't stand up. In the womb there's scars, arms, 2 legs, arm heads, none for them, of us. Humanity, Marcus was the harbinger. Ali came forth from ya. The great meeting is on. I see the crescent of the Dragon Ball when dive into the 101. Oh man, you run up. L, we align with yourself, how you up. What up? 2 grips, what you shaking? You forming the trust. Wait, oh it's your funeral. You arming with libraries, Moorish garden. The title is Glad you is a mind time away. That cousin has a slim soul. Prophet said to take it from the cares who I lay. Now solid as a rock, that ain't Hudson Bay. Them are Moorish docks, everything else.
Matriarch rules, spirit lessons, watch patriarch fools telling you man is God when the creator is you. The mud you made man from is really the womb. Feminism got you single and trying to be your groom. The prophet held you in his arms, turban with a plume. Told you be yourself, your face wearing a costume. Waving your fake fingernails and flipping your fake hair. Never on time paying late fees for daycare. Blaming dad trying to be right, not the fact you're a dyke. Keep your male sons childlike and life dream like 800 note phones, massaging dicks for those from lower self to higher self. It's just a stone's throw. If I'm a star, then God is, you are a universe. I'm your helper, you are the God and the earth. You are the yin, I am the yang that came from yin. We all came from her. Civilization is feminine. She is nature, intuition, wisdom and compassion. Woman's highest calling lead man to his soul's passion, and man's highest calling is to protect her. Not when she talks, dismissing intellect as conjecture.
The title is Glad you is a mind time away. That cousin has a slim soul. Prophet said to take it from the cares who I lay. Now solid as a rock, that ain't Hudson Bay. Them are Moorish docks, everything else.
I'm a Moor, 10 toes down on my square, yeah. To get here, you might need a couple stairs, yeah. Walk through the darkness to get to the light, yeah. I enforce law all by myself, yeah. With no cameras, no gimmicks, cause this is real life, people. I don't take pictures. You can deal with the facts or love fiction. You identify with black, you know something's missing. Where your flag, where your nation, ain't something missing. Here's mine right in front of me, and it was hitting. We were taken from Africa, that's full listen. Cause we was right in America before Christians. And I'm Moorish American, I'm so gifted. I don't need marijuana to get you lifted. That's what I do for humanity, don't get me twisted. The Inquisition control, you been calling business. I call it treason, the reason I'm so relentless.
Title is Glad you is a mind time away. That cousin has a slim soul. Prophet said to take it from the cares who I lay. Now solid as a rock, that ain't Hudson Bay. Them are Moorish docks, everything else.
Arm, leg, arm, head. Mama, meditate, laying in my bed with my mala. I self-law, a master. Allah. Nearest place to meet her is the heart. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, what we follow. Egg of life transformed, turn into the flower. Tree of life, man's form, learn the Kabbalah. See through the sandstorm, move like impalas. Follow Drew Ali's model, yeah. We them street scholars. We don't pop bottles and we don't pop collars.
Glad you is a long time to wait. Death cousin has a slave, so a prophet said to take it from the kids who I laid. Now solid as a rock, that ain't Hudson Bay. Them are Moorish docks, everything L. 9 drops from ya, where I'm from yourself. The who's blank, I'm not. She's out the water, the bank sprung up. With unsalvation now, you can't stand up. In the womb there's stars, arms, 2-leg, arm heads, none for them, of us. Humanity, Corpus, Marcus was the harbinger. Ali came forth from ya. The great meeting is on. I see the crescent and the dragon ball when dive into the 101. Oh man, you run up. Hell, we align with yourself, how you up. What up? 2 grips, what you shaking? You forming the trust. Wait, oh, it's your funeral. You arming with libraries, Moorish garden. The title is Glad you is a long time to wait. Death cousin has a slave, so a prophet said to take it from the kids who I laid. Now solid as a rock, that ain't Hudson Bay. Them are Moorish docks, everything L.
Matriarch rules, spirit lessons, watch patriarch fools telling you man is God when the creator is you. The mud you made man from is really the womb. Feminism got you single and trying to be your groom. The prophet held you in his arms, turban with a plume. Told you be yourself, your face wearing a costume. Waving your fake fingernails and flipping your fake hair. Never on time paying late fees for daycare. Blaming dad, trying to be right, not the fact you're a dyke. Keep your male sons childlike and life dream like 800 note phones, massaging dicks for those. From lower self to higher self, it's just a stone's throw. If I'm a star, then God is, you are a universe. I'm your helper, you are the God and the earth. You are the yin, I am the yang, that came from yin. We all came from her, civilization is feminine. She is nature, intuition, wisdom and compassion. Woman's highest calling lead man to his soul's passion. And man's highest calling is to protect her. Not when she talks, dismissing intellect as conjecture.
The title is Glad you is a long time to wait. Death cousin has a slave, so a prophet said to take it from the kids who I laid. Now solid as a rock, that ain't Hudson Bay. Them are Moorish docks, everything L.
I'm a Moor, 10 toes down on my square, yeah. To get here, you might need a couple stairs, yeah. Walk through the darkness to get to the light, yeah. I enforce law all by myself, yeah. With no cameras, no gimmicks, cause this is real life, people. I don't take pictures. You can deal with the facts or love fiction. You identify with black, you know something's missing. Where your flag, where your nation, ain't something missing. Here's mine right in front of me, and it was hitting. We were taken from Africa, that's bull listen. Cause we was right in America before Christians. And I'm Moorish American, I'm so gifted. I don't need marijuana to get you lifted. That's what I do for humanity, don't get me twisted. The Inquisition control, you've been calling business. I call it treason, the reason I'm so relentless.
Glad you is a long time to wait. Death cousin has a slave, so a prophet said to take it from the kids who I laid. Now solid as a rock, that ain't Hudson Bay. Them are Moorish docks, everything L.
Arm, leg, arm, head. Mama, meditate, laying in my bed with my mala. I self-law, a master, Allah. Nearest place to meet her is the heart. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, what we follow. Egg of life transformed, turn into the flower. Tree of life, man's form, learn the Kabbalah. See through the sandstorm, move like impalas. Follow Drew Ali's model, yeah. We them street scholars. We don't pop bottles and we don't pop collars. Hand on the throttle every second, minute, hour. Rhythm, vibration, words, sound and power. Perfumes and sensation, flesh has devoured. Took its final station, now the sweet smell sour. Always practice patience in heat, never power. power here to free with punch L from the tower. Let your hair down.
The title is Glad you is a mind time to wait. That cousin has to sleep, so the prophet said to take it from the care to our lady. Now solid as a rock, that ain't Hudson Bay. Them are Moorish docks, everything else.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gate Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law may save a little lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Salt Bay, prepping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J, Israel. Had no but duality in plain sight, but people still can't see it, so the snake's still showing up. Stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astral plane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life. Finish him.
Morris Omar, key man or oracle. Using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical. Lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic. Facts slap a dirty more or a duality critic.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gate Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law may save a little lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Salt Bay, prepping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J, Israel. Had no but duality in plain sight, but people still can't see it, so the snake's still showing up. Stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astral plane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life. Finish him.
Morris Omar, key man or oracle. Using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical. Lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic. Facts slap a dirty more or a duality critic. Calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved. Or cut like a close shave. Drowned in my brainwaves, squashed by heat waves. Activating Kundalini. Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini. Selassie in exile. Reptile in Genesis. Niggas appearing real. All I see is false evidence. DA are feminists, stomped on by elephants. More like more prejudice, but want Moorish benefits. When you feel the cold magnetic resonance. Apis horns of the sacred book called Maleficent. Great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness. No pestilence, ace all the testaments. Tap into remembrance, never to forget again. Use energy right, not put spell effects on men. Wandering the earth plane with no they live shades. Keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades. It's been decades since Christian crusades. Not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets. Holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday. War ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. What
we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
Happy Holy Day, Moors. Happy Holy Day and Moorish American Week. Day 3. Honors to all the Moors, the faithful Moors worldwide. Supreme honors to you. Honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. January 8th, we celebrated your solar return. And some European colonists said that's not enough. These Moors need to know about their prophet. So tell them for a week. You got a week to tell them. So we're here to let you know. Here to let you know about Noble Drew Ali and Moors. The greatest leader that we've ever had in some hundreds of years. He wasn't a selfish bastard like all these whoever's out here playing games with you. He was for his people. It was for his people because they needed him the most. They needed him the most. So we're here 100 years later, still letting them know about this great man that they kept away from him. This great man they kept away from him. So there's so many places that you can go that, you know, the average Joe. And so somebody in the chat was asking about what Koran do we follow? What Koran do we follow? As thinking Moors. But Drew Ali said think. As thinking Moors, the only reason he would bring a Quran is so that the Moors would have their own from their prophet. Just like everybody else out here who has a prophet, and their prophet gave them some whatever that they're supposed to follow and all that. Why? So we could have our own. So we could have our own. Once we realize that it's our own, things are going to change. Our people aren't there yet, so we have to bear with them, Moors. Bear with them. They don't know how far behind they are. So we're appealing. We're appealing to your incompetence about Moorish anything. And let Moors tell you about Moors. Because whoever told you and you didn't proclaim your nationality or you didn't study this further or whatever, they didn't tell you jack about this. So when we see the Holy Quran and we see Noble Drew Ali, if the previous prophet brought a Quran, right? It's the standard. That's the standard of how it goes. Juali did the exact same thing. Didn't Allah send all the other prophets? So if Allah sent all the other prophets, then why are you playing around with this one? Why are you not taking this one as serious as you take all the other prophets? And just like the prophets, right? Just like the prophets, we can go to all different places in here and get a lesson. Like all the other books. Look. We got all these pages, right? We're not even looking at chapters or anything like that. Right? Nothing. All these pages. Remember, this is Library of Congress, by the way. So since it's the Circle 7, we'll go to what they have on here. Is 52. Now look. Holy instructions from the Prophet. Inconstancy. Nature urges thee to inconstancy, O man. Therefore, guard thyself at all times against it. Guard thyself at all times. Guard thyself at all times. Thou art from the womb of thy mother, various and wavering. From the loins of thy father inheritest thou instability. How then shalt thou be firm? Those who gave thee a body and furnished it with weakness, but he who gave thee a soul armed thee with resolution. Employ it, and thou art wise, be wise, and thou art happy. Let him who doeth well, beware how he boasteth of it, for rarely is it his own will. It is not even the event of an impulse from without, born or uncertainty, enforced by accident, dependent on someone else. To thee and to accident is due the praise. Remember, it's a quality. It's part of the character. That's activity. That's not dead. We'll carry on. Beware of irresolution. in the intent of thy actions. Beware of instability in the execution. So shalt thou triumph over two great failings of thy nature. What reproacheth reasons more than to act contrarieties? What can suppress the tendencies to these but firmness of mind? The inconstant feeleth that he changeth, but he knoweth not why. He seeth that he escapeth from himself, but he perceiveth not how. But thou incapable of change in that which is right, and men will rely upon thee. And then Noble Drew told these Moors what? It would surprise him if a Moor would do right. To show you how much work we have to do now because of these traders that sold out back then, that didn't do right with this. Establish unto thyself principles of action, and see that thou ever to act according to them. And then he gave us all these lessons. He told us study these, and he's going to give you divine law and divine truth and everything else. He gave it to you in pieces, because he give you everything to turn your brain to water. So he give it to you in pieces. Give it to you in slices, because you're not ready for all of this. And many people weren't ready for all of this. They claim that they're about the principles of action, but they're passive. They have no intention of assisting in the process, the continuation of what was laid down 100 years ago. Not only what you're going to do to save yourself, but what you're going to do to save the entire nation. So shall thy passions have no rule over thee? So shall thy constancy ensure unto thee the good thou possessest, and drive from thy door misfortune? Anxiety and disappointment shall be strangers to thy gates. Suspect not evil in anyone until thou seest it. When thou seest, forget it not. For all the whoever's that like to help whoever and anybody and all that stuff. Keep doing good. But when you get played, don't ever forget how they played you, and never allow yourself to be played again. Because you can't do anything with your kind heart, but be kind and generous and all the other good stuff that you do. Right? So deal with everybody on the square. But if they do evil, you better take heed to that. Who so hath been an enemy cannot be a friend, for man mendeth not his faults. Who hath been an enemy cannot be a friend. So all the people who betrayed you and all that stuff, and you're still playing around, playing our friendship games. How you doing with them? You know they're going to keep playing you, right? You're going to keep falling for the BS? Oh, you didn't get Noble Drew all these lessons, though. Oh, okay. You see why you only have traders around, you know? Right. Made enemies friends. You learn from Noble Drew. His friends murdered him. His friends murdered him. Don't worry about enemies. How should his actions be right? Who hath no rule of his life? Nothing can be just, which proceedeth not from reason. The inconstant hath no peace in his soul, neither can be at ease whom he concerneth himself with. His life is unequal. His motions are irregular. His soul changeth with the weather. Today he loveth thee. Tomorrow thou art detested by him. And why? Himself knoweth not. Wherefore he now hateth. Today he is the tyrant. Tomorrow thy servant is less humble. And why? He who is arrogant without power will be servile while there is no subjection. Today he is profuse. Tomorrow he grudgeth unto his mouth that which it should eat. Thus it is with him who knoweth not moderation. Who shall say of the chameleon, he is black, when the moment after the verdure of the grass overspreadeth him? Who shall say of the inconstant, he is joyful, when his next breath shall be spent in sighing? What is the life of such a man but the phantom of a dream? In the morning he riseth happy, at noon he is on the rack. This hour he is a god, the next below a worm. One moment he laugheth, the next he weepeth. He now willeth, in an instant he willeth not, and in another he knoweth not whether he willeth or not. Yet neither ease nor pain have affixed themselves on him. Neither is he waxed greater or become less. Neither hath he had cause of laughter or reason for a sorrow. Therefore shall none of them abide with him. The happiness of the inconstant is a place built on the surface of the sand. The blowing of the wind carrieth away its foundation. Why wonder then that it falleth? But what exalted form is this, that hitherward directs its uninterpreted course, whose foot is on earth, whose head is above the clouds? On his brow sitteth majesty. Steadiness is in his port, and in his heart reigneth tranquility. Though obstacles appear in his way, he deigneth not to look down upon them. Though heaven and earth oppose his passage, he proceedeth. The mountains sink beneath his tread. The waters of the ocean are dried up under the sole of his foot. The tiger throweth herself across his way in vain. The spots of the leopard glow against him unregarded. He marches through the embattled legions. With his hands he putteth aside the terrors of death. Storms roar against his shoulders, but are not able to shake them. The thunder bursteth over his head in vain. The lightning serveth but to show the glories of his countenance. His name is resolution. He cometh from the utmost part of the earth. He seeth happiness afar off before him. His eyes discovered her temple beyond the limits of the pole. He walketh upon it. He enters boldly and remaineth there forever. Establish thy heart, O man, in that which is right, and then know the greatest of human is to be immutable. So you can go anywhere in Noble Drew Ali's literature that he brought to the Moors. And the awakening that you're going to get, being able to have lessons from before, to put more reason, more justification on how come we never got these lessons. Where Where have these lessons been? Why have they taught you everything else? They've taught you everything else. Remember, this is just one chapter. This is just one chapter. And it would take you deep within yourself. It's going to take you there. Whether you're ready for that or not is up to you. But you have to be the one to see it. And you have to be the one. And when you go back to the beginning. Remember, it was 1920s. You're a Christian. Right? You've been Christian. You see a brother with a fez on, and he's talking about know thyself and thy father God Allah. The genealogy of Jesus, with 18 years of the events, life, work, and teachings in India, Europe, and Africa. These events occurred before he was 30 years of age. These secret lessons are for those who love Jesus and desire to know about his life works and teachings. Dear readers, do not falsely use these lessons. They are for good, peace, and happiness for all those that love Jesus. Dear mothers, teach these lessons to your little ones, that they may learn to love instead of hate. Dear fathers, by these lessons you can set your house in order, and your children would learn to love instead of hate. The lessons of this pamphlet are not for sale, but for the sake of humanity. As I am a prophet, and the servant is worthy of his hire, you can receive this pamphlet at expense. The reason these lessons have not been known is because the Muslims of India, Egypt, and Palestine had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. And when the time appointed by Allah, he loosened the keys and freed these secrets. And for the first time in ages, have these secrets been delivered in the hands of the Muslims of America. All authority and rights of publishing of this pamphlet of 1927 by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. The industrious acts of the Muslims of Northwest and Southwest Africa. These are the Moabites, Hamathites, Canaanites, who were driven out of the land of Canaan by Joshua and received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle in that portion of Egypt. In later years, they formed themselves kingdoms. These kingdoms are called to this day Morocco, Algiers, Tunis, Tripoli, etc. You tell me you're not going to the meeting? You're a Christian. All you ever had was this Bible or whatever. And here's some more telling you about, you know, you didn't get all the lessons. You know, Jesus was going all around the world. You know, Just run through this chat. Supreme honors to noble duality. Honors to the prophet indeed. Did noble duality believe in forgiveness? But when you go back in other chapters, it tells you about believing and faith and fruition. And you might have seen in the chat, some of the Moors talking about the fruition. There's no believing when we're talking about our nationality and birthrights. Like it's a truth that must be known. This is not a belief system that noble duality brought. Right? And we just read about, you can forgive, but don't forget the evil that people do to you. Don't forget. Yeah, you forgive, but don't you dare forget what they did to you. Don't you ever get played ever again. Yeah, you can forgive them, but don't become zombified. You think that this is and then they play you again. Then you're gonna blame the forgiven. No, it's yourself. You already got played. How you getting played again? Like the Moor said, beliefs are for children. Animals and imbeciles. To the master teachers with the one-liners. The one-liner. Yeah, those old ones were good ones. You go look back. Before House of Ram, Taj Tariq Bey. Go watch some of those old ones. Go watch some of those. All right. Why were they kicked out by Joshua? Let's go again. No. Let's go to let's see what the Catholics say. One of the most controversial portions of Old Testament, especially since the rise of atheism, is God's command to Israel to wipe out the Canaanites, Perizzites, and Jebusites and others. How could a good God command someone to utterly destroy every person? But there is a lot more going on in Joshua and Judges than meets the eye. The command to utterly destroy these people seems pretty clear, and Joshua, after taking control of the land, said that he did everything the Lord commanded. But a careful reader will notice something strange going on in these texts. The very people who were supposed to have been utterly destroyed are nevertheless still there in the Holy Land. Even more strange, there is a flip-flop that occurs regarding these people's supposed obliteration, sometimes even in the same verse. For example, Joshua 10:20-21 says, When Joshua and the men of Israel had finished slaying them with a very great slaughter until they were wiped out, and when the remnant which remained of them had entered into the fortified cities, all the people returned safe to Joshua in the camp at Makkedah. Not a man moved his tongue against any of the sons of Israel. How could these people be wiped out and a remnant still survive? Joshua 11:21 likewise says that Joshua wiped out the Anakim in the hill country, Hebron, Debir, Anab, and all the hill country of Judah utterly destroyed, both of them and their cities. Yet Joshua 15:13-15 says that Caleb once again had driven out the Anakim in Hebron and Debir. How can the Lord command these people to be wiped out? Deuteronomy 7:20. Joshua filled this command, Joshua 11:20, and the people still be alive and well in the Holy Land. Something is at work behind these passages. If one compares the language in Joshua and Judges with the conquest writings of the ancient cultures, Egyptian, Hittite, Akkadian, Moabite, etc., you'll find there are a lot of similarities. The recorded battles and reports of conquest by these nations given exaggerated hyperbolic accounts about how their enemies were completely wiped out, utterly destroyed without any survivors, much like in the scripture. In fact, it appears that this was once a popular stylized form of war rhetoric that was used in the ancient Near East. When we read it, it sounds like the Israelites were commanded to totally annihilate these people, when it simply was a command of them to fight and win, even if the win was only temporary. And then you could do your own research and see what you find. You find that in 5 seconds. So what you realize is that these Moabites, Hamathites, Canaanites, who were driven out of the land, they received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt. So those are the ones that were moved from the land. Why would they do that? Because the pharaohs of Egypt are North Africans too. And that's part of the foundation that North African, from east to west, across the great Atlantis, onto the present North, South, Central America, and the Atlantis Islands. So it's not a driven out more than a going home. It's more of a going home than being driven out. Because as they say, the ones who stayed, ain't nobody had no issues with them. Nobody had issues with them. I thought they're supposed to be driven out and all that. Well, why do people have no issues with these people who were driven out and they had war and all that? Somebody's lying. And again, with Noble Drew Ali presenting what he presented and telling Moors, study, study, study. Think and save yourself. If I told you everything, so if he didn't tell us everything, then we better go find out what else is out there based on what he told us. It's not about okay, let's start here instead. All right. Let's start here instead. They're still caught up in the personages. So let's go here first. Metaphysical meaning of Joshua, who drove out and all that, right? Okay. Metaphysical meaning. Joshua means Jah is Savior. Jehovah is Deliverer. In the Hebrew, the name is identical with the name Jesus. Both of these men are derived from the word Jehovah, meaning I am that I am. The only difference between Joshua and Jesus is the extent of conscious realization of identity with the I am. Under certain states of mind, the I am in man acquires greatly increased power. This power has its foundation in spiritual understanding. Joshua took the children of Israel into the promised land. So it is through the power of our I am indwelling Christ that we lay hold of and attain the redemption of our life forces. The leadership of the Israelites was given to Joshua because he had been under instruction and had acquired a proficiency that enabled him to perform his work with dispatch. Joshua was of the tribe of Ephraim, typifying will or executive faculty of mind. When Joshua took command, he notified the children of Israel that they would pass over into the promised land in 3 days. This promptness of action is the result of confidence and power. When we know the law of spiritual demonstration and have the courage to act, we are Joshua. It is the state of mind that saves the whole mentality from its errors and brings it to consciousness of its natural inheritance in being. In Joshua 3:5-17, Joshua, the I am which governs and controls the activity of thought in the inner realms, speaks to the children of Israel and commands them, hear the words of Jehovah, your God. The priests symbolize our faith in the power of spirit, through which understanding of mind action is established. The Ark of the Covenant is the conscious realization that the spiritual nature in man is the real self. One enters into the joys of the promised land by having faith in spirit as the one reality active in man and by gaining an understanding of divine law. Established in understanding man through I am, Joshua commands his thought world to harmonize with divine standards and thus sets up an entirely new state of consciousness as a spiritual character. The spiritual consciousness is the promised land. Didn't certain people say that they've been to the mountaintop and they saw the promised land? And don't forget, he's pastor guy. So of course he has a metaphysical Bible dictionary. And him talking about promised land, ain't no land that he's talking about. He's talking about spiritual consciousness. And we know he was Mason and all that too. So we know he got all these lessons. Joshua's mission was to bring the children of Israel into a realization of their inheritance in the promised land. After they had been brought up into this consciousness, they were set forth actually to take possession of the land. Judges 2:6-16. At this time, they were all servants of God and were unified in thought and purpose. Then Joshua died and was buried in the border of his inheritance in Timnath Heres, portion of the sun or portion of Heres. The meaning of Heres being given as son, in the hill country of Ephraim. And it keeps going and going and going and going about Joshua. So first, before we start talking about people getting driven out and they're worshiping the wrong God, and before we go in there, know that everything's metaphysical first. So there's nothing that you're taking as face value, especially somebody's name. So now even that, right, bringing that up, the question of why them getting driven out and all that is metaphysical. You got Moabites, there's metaphysical meaning for it. You look Hamathites, there's a metaphysical meaning for it. You got Egypt, there's a metaphysical meaning for it. Everything has a metaphysical meaning. So don't get caught up in, only what's on the page. You have to go behind the veil most times when you're dealing with this information. It's definitely not what's just on the page. So I don't look at it as there was a man named Joshua and then he went and told these people that's not how it went down. These are spiritual lessons. This is about spiritual consciousness. Not just consciousness that these people talk about. Yeah, conscious, we're woke and all that stuff. There's no spiritual there. Most Christians read in the literal format because we see history and compare to the scriptures. Going back again. Okay, let's go check. Right. Metaphysical meaning of scriptures. Metaphysical meaning of Bible. It is the book that all the Christians follow. Right? This is what the metaphysical dictionary says about this book that these people carry around. The sacred and inspired scriptures of the Christian religion. It is the divine book of life rather than merely a history of people, and it bears witness unto the word of God. Bible characters represent ideas in one's own mind. When this symbolism is understood, one can follow the characters in their various movements and thus find the way to solve all of one's life's problems. Place in true study, Bible. The Bible is a recital of what has taken place in the consciousness of man, of the results of the working, either intelligently with the law or unintelligently against it. In seeking his own salvation, it gives an explanation of spiritual law as applied to man and tells him how to find the kingdom of heaven within. The spiritual interpretation of the Bible demands that the meaning of every figure, type, parable, and symbol must be in harmony with the fundamental principles of being. Metaphysical meaning of Bible. So they can take that now as a Christian, and then they're going to do whatever it is they're going to do with that information. They're either going to start looking at this thing from a metaphysical perspective so they can really get the lessons in order to fix themselves, which in turn is going to fix their environment and their society and everything else around them. If they can't get these basic lessons, they're done for. The kingdom is within. Supreme honors to our prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Supreme honors. We're going in tomorrow for the 15th annual, as usual, giving honors to our prophet, Noble Drew Ali. We called in some real professionals for the job in this great missionary work. So we'll see you there. And Moors should already got their email, their pre-Drew Ali Day online email with the itinerary and all that. And we'll see you Moors tomorrow. Honors to all the Moors. Oh yeah, and I don't know if you're on here, but if Javona Anderson's listening, send an email, because I got a Cash App request that you sent 25 notes, but we don't have Cash App here. So there's nothing to do. We only have PayPal. So if you get this, just send an email, canaanlandguide@gmail.com, because it didn't even give me an email, so I can at least email you back or whatever. So just send an email, canaanlandguide@gmail.com, and we'll organize everything. But I just need the email so I could put you on the list from now, even before you send your donation. Just because you're on time, but the thing not giving me an email, kind of killed the plan of just putting you on the list anyways. So if you get this, just send an email. Moors in the chat, honors to you. See you Moors tomorrow. With all the Moors who are trapped inside right now, tomorrow's perfect. Tomorrow's perfect. So it's only PayPal. And for all the people who, are saying we're scamming and all that stuff, right? FOH, because we've been putting in our work. So you can say whatever you want, feel however you want to feel. You could FOH. And all the Moors who were there for the past 15 years, they already know what goes down Noble Drew Ali Day. They've been through enough to know what's about to go down. We're here. Day 3, tomorrow day 4. So keep giving your honors, keep lighting your incense, burning your sage, whatever it is that you're doing in honor for the prophet. Whatever it is that you're doing, keep it up. Keep it up. Don't stop. Keep it up. Whatever it is that you're doing, just keep going. Just keep going. We got a week. We already know we're gonna keep going, but let's put some emphasis on it this week. So we're at day 4 tomorrow. It's gonna be a great time with the Moors as usual, and honors to Noble Drew Ali. Honors to Noble Drew Ali. We're very grateful. Very, very grateful. Supreme honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Supreme honors. Honors to all the matriarchs. Honors to all the matriarchs. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And Amor said, that the fires, the LA fires or whatever, Amor said that everything's burned down, but the trees are still there. Now, I don't know if, I don't know, maybe they built the houses out of some BS or something like that, you know. But it really look familiar, like something like this just happened already. And then in the other place, there were fire hydrants that didn't get burnt up and stuff like that, and paint on the street didn't get burnt up, and trees just there. What sound familiar? And I know it's familiar. And I've seen this before. You know, but you know, they're just know the kingdom of heaven is within. So you need to know when you see the flames coming. Kingdom of heaven is within. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Supreme honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. See you Moors tomorrow. Happy Holy Day and happy Moorish American Week. Islam Moors.